here we go. So like I said, I have a pillow. My pillow's not too big. And then I have a towel rolled up because I want to support my neck and make sure my spine is perfectly straight while we're doing stretches. Yay! So, I'm going to just give it a couple seconds while everyone grabs that towel and that pillow. So now my neck is straight, which is what I wanted. All right. And we're going to do that bit of a releasing of the tendons too. And this is supposed to help the lower back. Okay, so I think you should have gotten your towel or pillow. I probably should have given you more advance notice, but this is something I just got inspired to do at the last minute. So I want to bring my knee to 90 degrees, and then I'm going to support it, but with this hand that's on the bottom. So it's my right leg. So my left hand is on my knee, and I'm supporting my knee, holding it 90 degrees. Then I'm going to take my other hand, palm up, and grab the bottom of my foot. There we go. Or however you can do it, but palm up is supposed to be best. And I'm going to pull that foot towards my butt and hold this knee 90 degrees. This is for the lower back, by the way. Okay. Then I'm going to roll my shoulder towards the floor. Come back forward. Now I want you to push this leg towards the floor like this, and I want you to try and straighten this foot, but it's not going to happen because you're holding them. So here we go. Hold that leg. You can even put it under the knee if you want. Now push everything. We're going to release the hip flexors. Here we go. Push and let go. Now roll your shoulder back again. You know, this seems like a simple thing, but super effective. All right. Let's try the other side. These are just some techniques that I was researching. Mostly it's chiropractic, so that's why I like to try them. And I did do them already, some of these things that we're doing today, just to try it, see how it works. Okay, lying on my side again. So again, if we're going to be doing some stretching on the floor and you have neck and shoulder issues, I'd like you to start using a pillow and supporting your neck. Okay, so here we go again. I'll straighten that bottom leg. My other hand is going to cup and hold this 90-degree angle of the knee so that it's straight and not like going down towards the floor. Nice straight angle. And then my palm up hand is going to grab the bottom of that foot. I'm going to pull that foot into my butt. Okay. Now let's roll that shoulder towards the floor. This is actually for the lower back and the hip. And I think that star sit up, I don't know how my lower back liked it. So today my back was a bit sore. Okay, let's roll forward again. Do you remember how I said you're gonna try and push that knee down? So you're gonna hold it with the hand and not let it go. And then that back foot, you're gonna try and push that down as well and straighten the leg. Here we go, push, resist, I'm pushing into it. This is a really good way to release the tendons around the hips. And let go. Good. Now let's push again. One more time. Roll the shoulder back. And release. Excellent. We're gonna release these hips. It's the last thing we do. Okay, so this next one, we're gonna go right up to a wall. I know these are interesting stretches, but I've had a lot of car accidents with my neck and stuff, so I really wanted to find ways to get an effective stretch. So now, you may or may not want this one for your neck. You just want to make sure your spine is straight, right? So it depends on the thickness, but you can take the towel away and just use the pillow. But I want you to put your body so you're facing a wall like I am. Now it's a weird angle because all you're seeing is my legs. Okay, and I want you to put your fists into the wall. So now you're engaging your core, and it's going to give you support. And lift both your knees up 90 degrees. There's my feet. Okay, and you're pushing into that wall and giving yourself a foundation of support because you're engaging the core and pushing your lower back in. And then I'd like you to straighten one leg and hover it above the floor without touching, and then go straight out to the side. It's supposed to release your hips. Okay, bring it back in, and then come back up. Keep pushing those fists into the wall, and let's straighten the other leg, and bring it out to the side. You're hovering above the floor with your leg. Back up, 90 degrees. Keep pushing those fists into the floor. Now drop your knees out. I know this is probably not a flattering angle of me, but I'm sorry. It's all about the hips, I don't care. Okay, back to center. We're gonna do it again. Here we go. One leg down, hovering, out to the side. If you can't do this, I want you to do something that you know you can do, like the first one we did. Okay, back to center, back up. Let's do the other one. Keep pushing those fists into the wall for support. Here we go, out, back in. I can feel everything cracking, it's crazy. Okay, let's do it again, left side. Straight, hover, out, hold, back in. It's like a total way to release those hips. Back, okay, now you're gonna move your knees out. Let them hang, 9 degrees. Back in, I know, what a weird angle. But I'm a weirdo, so it doesn't matter. Okay, let's put our feet down. And we're gonna sit up. We're gonna go right into, make sure I'm in the right spot here. I'm just gonna put my pillow off to the side for a minute. We're gonna go right into a 90-90 hip stretch, but we're gonna add some things. Okay, so normally when we do this 90-90 hip stretch, our leg is straight out. We're gonna switch the angles. So now I'm gonna do 90 degrees here, and then 90 degrees behind me. And then I'm gonna put both my hands forward. So now I have my left, so my right leg is forward. So my left hand is where my right knee is. My right hand is where my right hip is. Okay. And I'm going to take, I'm trying to remember. I had to think about it because it's right, left leg would be the, so I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to put it underneath my left hand, and then I'm going to roll my shoulder back, go like this. And then I'm going to tilt. take that same hand, both my hands, I'm gonna reach away from that right hip forward. This is all for lower back, right? Try and keep those 90-degree angles behind me. You're gonna feel stretching. We're stretching like the mid to lower back in that stretch. So now we're gonna go to the regular 90-90 hip stretch that we normally do. And I'm gonna take this is my right leg is still in the front. I'm gonna take my left arm and I'm gonna reach as far over as I can, diagonal from that front right knee. And stretch. This is all lower back. It just seems that sometimes it's so hard to find lower back stretching that's actually effective and gives you immediate relief. Okay, so I'm going to come forward again. This time, this back leg, I want you to push it into the floor. So now I'm pushing that leg into the floor and then I'm going to reach again. And activate that hip flexor. Good. Now we can put our chest down to our shin and go the other direction. Weird movements, hey? I have my camera at a different angle because I wanted you to... Probably shouldn't have done the angle with the wall like I did, but that's the only spot I have a wall. Crazy. Sometimes you just want to get those hips released. They're so tight, my hips get so tight. Okay, let's come back up. And now I want you to bring that heel down a bit, and the back leg is the same. So now we're more like a pinwheel, and then I want you to put your upper body and go into a circle. Ooh, hello. If that is really hard, you can use your hands to kind of do that circle if you want. Like put your hands on the floor, or put your hands over your chest. Come to center, the bottoms of my feet together. So now my hips can just kind of hang a bit. I'm going to take my right arm. I want to put it right behind my back. And then my left arm is going to take my head. And I'm going to pull it towards my shoulder. Just want to stretch the neck a bit. Let's come back up. Nice tall spine, arm is right across your back, so you're feeling like this shoulder's kind of engaged, all these muscles. Okay, let's do it again. Same side, down. When you pull that neck down or the ear towards the shoulder, super gentle, right? You're not forcing things too much. Back up again, one more time. Stretching all around that neck. And so this is, one of you ladies was telling me that you woke up you slept wrong and your neck was stuck. That's what this one's for. So it just kind of opens it up right here. All right. And you can do this standing with your back to the wall if it helps. All right, so now we're gonna do our hip stretches for the other side of our body. So, left leg is going to be forward. This leg's going to go straight back. This leg is going to go straight out to the side. And then my hands are going to go, so my left hand is where my left hip is, and my right hand is where my knee is. You can go a little bit forward if you want, but I want you to twist that body. gonna put your left hand under the right hand, and then I want you to lean your shoulder over. You can even twist your shoulder a bit and lean back. Try to keep my arms straight. What am I thinking? All right, back to straight. Now I'm actually going to try and twist my body a bit. This is all for stretching that lower back and hips. What? I'm going to go to our regular 90-90 hip position, where now my leg's going straight and I got 90 degrees in all my angles here. Okay? And then I'm going to take my right hand, because my left leg is out front. I'm going to reach it right across that knee diagonal. Away. We're stretching the upper back as well as the lower back. Come back, and then I'm going to try and push this back knee. I'm going to push it into the floor and hold, and then reach away again. Reaching away. Just releasing those hips. You could do it. I'm feeling all these weird cracky sounds. Okay. So I'm going to put my chest down onto my shin. I'm going to go towards that foot and try and get the other side of my hip. Crazy stretches, hey? I'm a wild woman today, you better look out. I don't know, I just always want to find the most effective for all our issues. Our hips won't know what hit them. And let me know, like this weekend, if your back feels better or if it helps. Okay, so now I'm going to put my feet together, the bottoms of my feet, and my left arm's going to go behind my back. So my knuckles are actually right here at my lower back. So all the way behind. And then I'm going to take my right hand and just pull that ear towards the shoulder. Stretch that neck. And don't forget to breathe, sorry. Come back up. Let's do it again. Whee! That is so tight, those traps. Whee! Up again. One more time. Whee! All right, so I still have my feet together, but I'm going to grab my toes. And then I'm going to pull my torso forward. Open those hips up. So I did bring that pillow and that out for whenever we're laying on our sides and supporting our necks. So first of all though, I'll have it ready. I'll lie on my back. Nice and slow down. So again, so you know, I've had many car accidents, so I'm going to support my neck. I want to do it so that I can imagine that my spine is nice and straight now. And if you feel like your spine is nice and straight, I'm going to take my knees. I'm just going to rock them side to side. I'm just gonna let my knees go all the way to the floor, rolling onto my side, and again my neck is supported. So now I have a nice straight spine all the way down to my butt. Okay, so you can rest your arm nice and comfortable, and then I want you to take that other arm straight out. We're doing a shoulder sweep, so the thumb is down. We're gonna hover all the way behind. Stretch that shoulder so my thumb stays towards the floor. We're doing a half circle. Wow, I didn't even realize that's so tight. A lot of the times we have shoulder issues because the front of our shoulder, where our shoulder meets our chest, is super tight. It actually causes knots down the mid-upper arm and knots in the back. Where you think it's the back, it's actually the front that's causing all that. Not always, but a lot of the time. Because it's pulling those traps forward, it's pulling everything. There we go. And my neck feels great because it's nice and supported instead of being tilted. I got a nice support for that. Perfect. All right. Switch sides. Take all my flowery pillows. Come on the other side. Whoops. Pull that up again. Let's do our shoulder sweep on the other side. I want to make sure my neck is supported. Nice straight spine. Yep, check. Okay, thumb towards the floor, shoulder sweep. Whee! Super easy and very effective. It's funny, I did that wall and I was thinking, you know, this isn't very flattering. But, you know, hindsight is 20/20 hindsight. We all know each other here. Wow. This feels so nice on the front, stretching that pec and the front of my shoulder. Keeping that thumb towards the floor, a nice half circle or the shape of a rainbow. So those 90-90 hip stretch like things that I did alternatively, they were to relieve lower back pain. So I do think that my lower back feels a lot better than when I woke up. If they're super painful, maybe do some cardio first and warm up. All right, here we go. this aside because we may not need it again. All right, we're gonna go right into child pose. Go from my hands and knees and right into child pose. A lot of lower back care today. I'll tell you what time it is. In my own little planet. Oh, there we go. So a lot of times when you're trying to stretch your back, we just go for the part that has discomfort, but we need to stretch the whole back. So I'm going to come up a bit. I'm going to put both my hands to the left and go back down again, stretching my lats, latissimus dorsi, which is the muscles on the back just below the scapula, or just below your armpits. That's a technical term. I'm going to come back up, roll my hands off to the other side, stretch there. Come back up, and I'm going to put my hands together and go out to the side and go back down so I can stretch the back of my shoulder. And go off to the other side. Wow, this side's way tighter. Good. We do just a number of child pose variations. It's going to stretch. Come up to our hands and knees. I'm going to take my right leg and put it straight out to the side, and then attempt to go back into a child pose, but a lot of times it's quite difficult, so I'm just going to rock forward and back. Stretch that inner hamstring. Back a bit so you can see the whole movement. Where you can see the foot placement. I put my camera in a different place just because I wanted to show you the pillow. So if you want, you can support yourself and go all the way down, sitting on that foot. And then you can reach your hands forward. Whew, tight. Whenever you have that kind of resistance, I'm going to take a deep breath in. Might as well stretch the back, the leg, and the calf and hamstring. So I'm going to put my foot forward and rock back. Go back as far as I can. If you can go into the seated position without moving your heel, maybe using your hands, you can adjust how tight your stretch is. Or you can just keep it up on the knee and just put your hand on that foot. That is insane all the way. I'm pulling my toes towards my face too. The other hand I just have on the floor for balance. And I'm going to switch sides. Oop. Here we go. So now I'm going to put my left leg out to the side. Rock forward and back. Stretch that the hamstring. Because it's such a jerk. That the troubles this muscle causes. It's insanity. You can either go right into child pose if you're able, or you can use your hands to come down nice and gentle, and then you can reach forward. Come back up, and I might as well stretch the back. Put my heel forward, and then slowly move my way back as far as I think I can go. If you can go into the seated position and stretch the back of that leg, great. If you can't, use one hand to support you. Put your hand on those toes, pull those toes towards your face. Take a deep breath. Just release. Excellent. We're going to do a little more stretching. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to put my right leg straight and my left leg. I'm going to bend and put my foot on the inside of my thigh. Excuse me. All right. So now I'm going to turn my shoulders and face that leg. Put my hands on the floor and roll forward. Take a deep breath in, and then as you breathe out, see if you can't go a little bit further. While we're at it, we might as well stretch our gluteus medius. So I'm going to take my right forearm, because my right leg's extended out front. So if you have your left leg, obviously you can do opposite. And my left arm's going to go up, over, as I gently put my forearm on the floor. And then once I put that forearm on the floor, I see that my knee's lifting up. So I'm actually going to push my arm into the floor and try and push that knee back towards the floor. So I'm trying to push the resistance into that hip. Deep breath in. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And come back up. I'm just going to take my right hand. I'm going to put it on the outside of that knee. I'm going to twist my body and look as far behind me as I can. That hand that's on your knee, I want you to lift it and reach diagonal towards the ceiling away. Try to keep that butt cheek on the floor. all these different twists. All right. Now, switching legs. Left leg's out. Right leg or right foot is on the inside of my left thigh. I'm going to shift my shoulders towards this left leg. Deep breath in, and as I breathe out, I'm going to run my hands on the floor on either side of that knee. I know this seems silly, but that one we did with the fists in the wall, I did it a few times before I started the class, and I really feel that my hips have unlocked because this is the lowest my knee has ever been. So let's take another deep breath and push forward. A lot of hips and lower back today, a little bit of neck, a little bit of shoulders. Come back up. Yeah, seriously, that's the lowest my knees are. Usually my knees way up here. This is awesome. I'm excited. Okay, so left hand, I want to get my hand and forearm on the floor. It's a little challenging sometimes, but I'm going to reach that right arm over my head as I'm lowering that forearm to the floor. And we're stretching this right here. Lower upper back, just above the butt cheek, and the hip. Okay, so now I'm gonna push that arm into the floor and imagine I'm pushing this knee towards the floor with the, there we go. Just having that arm on the floor gives you a bit of torque to push your hip. Deep breath. Let it go. Let it go. Push. All right. Woohoo, that was fun. Left hand on the outside of that knee. Then the other hand you can put behind your back and twist. Always taking those nice deep breaths to relax the muscles. I'm going to take that hand by the knee and reach the back corner. Looking at my hand up. Excellent. Excellent. Perfect. Back to center. Got a couple minutes left, so therefore I like to do a little more of a thoracic twist and shoulder stretch. So lie on your side, knees 90 degrees. Now lie down, and I'm going to take that bottom leg and straighten it. Okay, and this is another instance where I can grab my pillow and make sure my neck is nice and straight again. What? There we go. There we go. Nice straight neck. Okay, so one leg is, the bottom leg is straight, the top leg is 90 degrees. I'm going to take that top hand. I'm just going to hold that knee down. And then I want a goal post with that top arm. And I'm just going to turn my body back. And I'm just going to lay here in this position until my arm makes it to the floor. See you in a while. La, 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 la. It's making it, I could tell. So I'm twisting and stretching that thoracic spine. And the front part of my shoulder is getting a nice stretch because I have that nice goal post. The other hand is holding the knee to the floor so it can't fall out. Wow, that's pretty tight because it's just about to the floor. Deep breath in. Let it go. If you can't even twist close to the floor, that's okay. I have a couple ladies that can't do that, but I'm working on them. But their thoracic spine is so tight that they can't notice. Oh, still not to the floor yet. That's crazy. Oh, I can feel the floor now. Deep breath in. Oh, I actually am feeling a weird pull in the back of my shoulder. So obviously things are releasing and letting go. All right, let's do the other side. Whew. All right. I like this, supporting the neck and keeping the spine straight. Talking about those chiropractors, they want us to keep our spine straight and healthy. There we go. Nice. So now I feel like my neck is straight and in alignment with where my spine is instead of tilting it. And I'm going to take that bottom leg and straighten it. That top hand can just hold that knee on the floor now. I'm going to goal post this arm and drop it all the way back. Just wait for gravity to pull that shoulder towards the floor. Whew. Total spasm for me. So I had to, you get a spasm in that shoulder, you come back and do it again. Tell your shoulder that resistance is not going to work. Deep breath in. Imagine that nice 90-degree arm going towards the floor. The weekend is here. Yay! Today's the first day of December, I think. I decided to, instead of a big pile of presents, because my kids are grown, so it's a whole different story. For Christmas, I'm actually going to spend money on a very memorable, fun day for everybody. And as I talk to other people, a lot of people are doing that, trying to spend their money on a quality day instead of just getting a big pile of gifts that maybe you don't want. Like I get it, the kids do that because the excitement of kids opening a present is phenomenal. But when your kids are grown, until I get grandchildren, I'm going to do this. All right. You can feel my hand and arms on the floor now. I got a nice twist. Perfect. Come forward. Oh, I went a minute long. Whoops. That's okay. We kind of started rocky and late getting our pillows. So that's all right. I know I gave you a lot of weird stretches today.